Yeah, check the mic.
Word up.
OG Big Sam holds the crown. With the fam, we run the town. Mad Monday with the general. Every move is fundamental. Wicked T Wednesday. Fridays high noon madness. Master content agility. Avoiding all the sadness. Always tune in to the network. Mr. White.
On this blissful Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, programming change. We got something brand new for y'all. The inaugural debut of the almighty OG Raw Report, starring yours truly and the almighty freshman, bringing you wrestling content and material. You know,
yes, sir. We in here.
Yep, showing our content agility. You know what I'm saying?
What's his real name, Bruce?
Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about a few things. Yeah, we're gonna recap Monday Night Raw for you. Talk about some of the things that happened on last night. And you know what I'm saying, a couple other, you know what I'm saying, topics. We're gonna talk about the late great Harley Race. You know, multiple time, you know what I'm saying, heavyweight champ, one of the legends, you know what I'm saying, of the sport. We're also gonna talk about a guy some of you may know of or could remember, and some of you may not. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, the originator of the Powerslam. We're gonna have that conversation for you as well. You know, it is WrestleMania week. You know, got a lot going on. Championship matches, championship situations, storylines to boot. These women's division tag team titles, which is being held currently by the Irresistible Forces. And I think it was going to be an interesting match. That 4-team battle, the teams in that match. It's going to be an interesting thing to see how that's going to unfold. But I think that Nia and Lash are going to hang on to the belts. Because it's long been time for Nia to have some kind of title run, you know, of some kind. It's been a few years since she held a belt. And I think the pairing of her and Lash Legend with her sexy self, it's
he had to throw that in there.
Yeah. That's a lot of time.
Hey, I can't lie though. I can't lie, OG. When Jade came out there in that suit, I was like, "Oh, step on me, step on me."
Yeah.
When did the Jakes get out?
Hey, you know, it gonna get the Jade. It is just a hot sec, but yeah. I mean, you know, them putting her and Nia together, which that's a whole lot of women right there between them two. You know, again, like I said, it's been a couple of years since Nia had a belt, and I think it makes a whole lot of sense to me. You know what I'm saying, for them to go on a dominant title run. You know what I'm saying. You know, and here's where Jade comes into the conversation a little bit, because I was, you know, I knew that she was gonna, you know, initiate a faction. You know what I'm saying, and I was thinking like, damn, her and Nia and Lash hook up as a faction. You know what I'm saying, that'd be kind of sort of like, you know, the women's version of NWO. You know, just run roughshod over the division. But I you know, I'm kind of cool with B-Fab and Meechin, you know what I'm saying, as a goon squad too. You know, because it kind of took me by surprise when they formed that. But Naya and Lash, I think could, you know what I'm saying, pay good dividends in the tag division. You know, you know, and in that match coming up in WrestleMania. What you think? What you think?
I mean, I think it's great. I think I think putting the titles on them will help that faction last a lot longer and let them run a whole bunch of stories off of it because of how much, like, even before that came together, Jade was having so much, you know, go on with her. Just to throw this on there, it just makes it that much better. You're giving her, especially with who is it that's hurt? She got that hurt finger.
Oh, Bianca Belair.
Yeah, see, without her being around, you're kind of missing a little. You're missing some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, you missed some stuff. I mean, with Naomi out, you know, she just you know, her and Jimmy just, you know what I'm saying, had the baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be another 3, maybe 4 months before Naomi come back. You know what I'm saying? And then there's talk.
I think she comes back and takes the title back too.
Yeah, that battle is still gonna come off the shelf. But there's talk about Bianca maybe not being back at all. With that finger, there's talk of retirement concerning Bianca. You know, because of that finger.
With her finger, though.
It didn't heal. It wasn't healing right to start, and then you had some. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some degenerative action going on in there, the tendon or the bone or some sort. But it didn't reform right. You know, Chadrick, do you think Naomi returned at WrestleMania? Not this year. Not this year.
I wouldn't think
they just literally had the baby. I think 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. The baby's not even a month old yet.
She's not gonna let the baby out of her sight for a
while.
Right.
I mean, then you got the 6 weeks of healing. You know what I'm saying, from having the baby. I mean, because she had it wasn't a C-section, it was a natural birth. You know, I mean, you had that month and a half in there, and then you got to get home back into, you know what I'm saying, into stock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And how because it was a whole year for Becky after they had their baby. It was another year before Becky came back from having the baby. Yeah. So I mean, and she admitted herself in an article that it was more so about being away from the baby that took her that long to come back. So, you know, you got to factor in that mamaism, you know. So
you got to make sure Jimmy stay off of her.
Right.
I keep getting up pregnant.
Yeah,
you gotta add that into the equation too.
Yeah, you really, you got to, you know. I mean, you know, and I'm quite sure they've had that conversation. You know what I'm saying? What up, Vince? You know, I'm quite sure they've had that conversation. You know, I think if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy has a kid or kids from a previous relationship, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. I think I heard that, you know what I'm saying, concerning them. But you know, the baby is here. I think now if you're talking WrestleMania 27, you might have a little something there, Todd. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I know probably between, sometime this year, there's going to be a confirmation of whether Bianca will be back, you know what I'm saying, to the company or not. Because right now there's a whole lot of talk about her in retirement right now.
But she might have to lose that finger. I've heard that too.
Yeah, that's in that conversation concerning her. Now let's see. The Drew and Jacob Fatu war is off the rails. If you will. Those two, their war and Liv Morgan and Stephanie McCurry's war, those are looking like four individuals that just do not like each other. Literally, for real. The way some of these, backstage brawls have happened, in ring brawls that have happened, and I honestly think that Liv and Stephanie McCurry really don't like each other at all, dead ass, in real life. Because some of the things, a lot of the best feuds start, come from actually real animosity, and I think there's some real animosity between those two.
You know the women be catty. She probably don't like how she became champion and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because when you watch Liv had to really fight to get there, and lose it. And now she got, how that is. Egos get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Jacob and what's the name?
And Drew McIntyre.
I don't know what their deal is. Like,
well, what the problem between those two stem from? Drew cost Jacob the Intercontinental belt. Remember, the United States belt. Remember when he had that? And then Jacob cost Drew the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's okay. So that's what I thought it was, something like that. I wasn't for sure, but I knew it was something that had to happen. I was going to say it got to be there of the feud just between McIntyre and just the Usos and all them, just period, because everybody seemed like every Samoan seemed like they getting into it with him.
Yeah. He has a problem with the whole anybody bloodline, to be honest. Rightfully so, because there were some things that happened during all that. Now you're actually starting to see some cracks in certain situations concerning members of the family. Looks like Tonga finna strike out on his. Finna break away from the MFTs.
That's what I think so too. Where he didn't show up, and then who was the other tall guy with them? He like he gonna do it too.
Yeah. I got a feeling that the way it's looking, it look like it's a possibility that there should be some Roman involved in this, in refactioning the bloodline, honestly, which is something that should have happened last year. You got bloodlines all over the place right now, and honestly, the best thing that could happen for the company is for that faction to reconstitute itself. Now, with that being said,
but do you add all them in, or do you just bring the main,
all of them,
main guys?
It'll be like the reincarnation of the NWO. I mean, that family, that fact, the bloodline itself. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You could have a situation where all the belts are in the bloodline. You get, there are a couple of situations where they could be born with a few folks. Because Triple H right now is about to drop the ball big time on a faction that's involved in a feud with, you know what I'm saying, Solo and his squad. You cannot drop the ball on the Wyatt Six. You can't.
Oh
You can't.
yeah, and they supposed to be having a match with.
You can't bury them on the roster. You cannot, you know what I'm saying, you know, keep them out of a major story because that you have such a foundation there with them being the last connection to Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you're right, Vince. LA Knight can't catch. He can't catch a break. That was that was funny as hell.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to really like LA Knight.
I've always, a lot of people don't like him because of what his character is somewhat based off of. You know, a lot of people are calling him a Stone Cold knockoff. You know what I'm saying? And some of it may be true, but I mean, his character, his aura, and the way it's presented, I like it. I like it. I like LA Knight
though.
You know,
I see Stone Cold unless you're talking about the part. That's about the only Stone Cold. Other than that, I feel like them are two different people.
I've said that it sounds better. It sounds better when you say it. But, you know, I mean, you know, there's some people that are just, you know, I like LA Knight as a character, as a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, as a character, you know what I'm saying? The mega superstar, if you will. I like it, you know. But
sure,
the bloodline situation, the Usos, you know, and what's going to happen at WrestleMania with that whole situation looks like it's going to be very combustible. Now, if you've been watching the last couple of weeks, CM Punk and Roman Reigns have been slitting each other's throats over the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying, with some of these promos. What do you think about their situation with Punk and Roman?
I think it's a great situation. Kiana, can you turn that down some? I think it's a great situation. Two well-established superstars, one who took over for how many days? 1,000 and what days?
3 years to be exact. 1,316 days he held the belt, and everybody ate when Roman was champ.
And I was just about to say that, and then like not only that, Roman had like I seen a little chart where it's like when he since he became into WWE, he's been the reason why a lot of people got a chance at WrestleMania and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm just like, oh yeah, this is good. And then if you watched CM Punk and his journey, it's just like, all right, this is a match made in heaven. Both stars trying to get back to the top. You could say CM Punk kind of on the top, but it's like he came in hot against Seth. And it's like, all right, cool. That was a great way to reintroduce him. But to keep the title on him for a long period of time, I felt like that was never in the plan because I didn't even think he was going to end up with it. I thought Roman was going to end up back with it again when Steph had it.
Yeah.
So just to make it all realign and make them go at it. And then the promos they've been cutting with each other have just been marvelous because they're almost the same person. Well, let me not say the same person, but the same character. Both then had a wise man. Both then had 3 yes men around them.
Yeah.
Both then down there the same route. But one just made it better.
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, everybody ate when Roman was champ. And when the whole bloodline was running rampant, there was a lot of money being made around when Roman was champ for those 3 years.
But also too, I want to say this. It seemed like when they did this, the storyline of the bloodline and stuff with Roman, I feel like they had it better thought out because they had people with him who can actually perform on their own.
Right.
Now, when Punk had his little faction and whatnot, what happened to those dudes? Those people that was in there? Nothing really ever big came out from them, from the whole squad. It just seemed like it was more centered around him versus the bloodline is centered around Roman, but he still finds a way to make sure everybody else is getting a shine, but also too everybody else can entertain and hold their own at the same time.
Right.
So I think that's why I feel like, all right, that's why they are the same person. It's just one made that role and job a lot better than the other. Because the other one, like you said, Roman, everybody, he was getting everybody paid. Everybody getting a piece of the action. Punk is just like he was more so about himself. He didn't really put nobody on or really boost the people that was around him when he had, what was it, the Straight Edge Society or something like that he had.
Back
none of those guys
back in the early 2000s, when he first came through, but none of that was in that, you know what I'm saying, lived up, you know what I'm saying, to the jump start that was for them from that. Some people are not looking forward to that match, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, because believe it or not, there's a group of fans, if you will, that don't want to see Roman back with the belt.
I do.
Me too.
Especially that heavyweight. I think that heavyweight belt look good on him, boy.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, I think that's one of my favorite belts I've seen. I like this design and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, speaking of heavyweight, Brock Lesnar and Obi-Wan, which I think is going to be one of the better brawls that we have seen in a long time. This is one of them times where I'm actually looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar in the ring.
Yeah.
Sure. This right here, and you know, and this particular situation, and you know, this young man getting put over the way he is, being able to launch his career with on the main roster with Brock Lesnar, which I think is which is a great thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A win over the Beast by you know what I'm saying, by Big Over is gonna catapult him, you know what I'm saying, into some major situations. Which I think
I'm interested to see what belt they put him up to go get. Because you have to put him up against to get a belt.
Yeah, because he's the following that he's you know that he's garnering. I mean, he had a large following in NXT.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Very very large, and I mean, and you know he's a large dude himself. You know. And I think this is another situation that Triple H needs to tread lightly on in the creative room for this young man and where you can go with him, because Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, do you think they somewhat do like how you remember how before Roman became the unified WWE champ? Do you think they do something like that? Have him be a champ, then have somebody else be a champ, and have him go try to unify something like that. I
I
would
mean,
like to see him do that.
I think his stardom is moving so fast that they're gonna have to put a belt on. I think they're gonna have to put one of the championship belts on him because his stardom, his following is moving so fast, it's swelling so fast. You can't mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
You
Do
can't.
you whose reign do you cut short?
Well, again, when you're in it, you got the right, and timing is gonna be, it's got to be perfect on this as well. You know, because it depends on how long and how far you're gonna take this brawl with Lesnar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, is WrestleMania gonna be the pinnacle between those two, or are you gonna run that a little bit longer? You know what I'm saying? Because you got SummerSlam coming up after WrestleMania. You know what I mean? You know, where do you put him? Where do you steer him? You know, I mean, because his character is starting to get a little bit larger than life. You know,
and they gonna have to do something fast because what are you gonna do? We got to move on to another match. What are you gonna do with the whole Gunther and Seth Rollins thing?
I mean, you know, and then on top of everything else, Damian Priest has interjected himself into this thing with Gunther. He dropped them on he dropped them on the table last night. But you know, Seth and Gunther, Seth and Gunther, I think
belts right now. You got Seth and Gunther because I feel like Gunther doing this whole thing to set himself up to be a champion again. You got Seth who wants to reclaim his belt because he got hurt and he really didn't lose his belt. Then you got Roman, of course, going back after this belt. I feel like he's going to get it. How long do you keep that on him? Then you got Oba, who you just said is becoming larger than life. So you got to down there almost stick a belt on him. And it can't be one of these little rinky dinks.
To be quite honest, I think Seth should be kind of sort of shit out of luck right now as far as the championship picture is concerned. You know, because you got Randy, who's been long overdue for a title run. It's been a couple of years since a belt been on him. There needs to be a Legend Killer Viper run. There needs to be. And I like the hype that's being built between him and Cody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't like the Pat McAfee aspect of it though.
That is some
like
I hate to get into politics, you know what I'm saying, and things because you know that's what a lot of this has to do with Pat McAfee and his contract with TKO. You know what I'm saying? You know, Vince. Oba's promo last night was off the chain. And it seemed like the more and more he's on the microphone, the better and better he gets. You know what I'm saying? He's not outside himself. He keep it grunt. He keep it violent. And he keep it African King. You know what I'm saying? And the people are loving it.
One thing they do on him is putting them on the mic, getting them better at cutting the promos.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but A championship picture, you got a couple of situations on both belts, really. And I don't think that Seth should be thrown right back into the championship picture. You know, now now you should well, two things. Well, part of the problem is where you put Seth, because now something else. What the boy name? Rick Steiner's boy, Rick Steiner's son. That was in the little faction with Seth. Damn, what is his name?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's hurt. That's why you haven't seen him on TV for almost a month. He's hurt. He's another one where there's some retirement rumors that are circling around him as well. But
Ron Breaker.
Yeah, Breaker, yeah, and Bronson, both of them got injuries. That's why you ain't seen either one of them. Yeah, both of them got injuries, and neither one of them is good. So, you know, instead of having the Seth taking revenge on Division, you know what I'm saying, storyline, where do you put him? And I don't think it should be in the championship picture. So, you know, now you got this him and Gunther thing, you know what I'm saying? It's good for Gunther. You know what I'm saying? You know, to be in a brawl, you know what I'm saying, with someone. Now you ain't got to search for somewhere to put him. You know, like I said, it's good for Gunther, but like the Seth, I just don't in the championship picture. Yeah,
I think you have to, because what else can you do with him? You already done everything else with him. Like, I don't even think, and then you got to also think, I don't think Seth has the personality that he wants to accept any lower belt.
This is true. Though you still have the angle of him also taking revenge on Paul Heyman, you know, which will probably end up with him in a tat-a-tat, you know what I'm saying, with Brock, you know what I'm saying, and then there's still CM Punk, and him and CM Punk in real life do not like each other at all.
Oh yeah.
At all. When I say at all, I mean you can't. You mess around and put them in the same room you want to. It is not going to be peaceful. It's not going to be like at all.
Furniture moving around.
Yeah. Now backstage, there's a major politicking issue. You got a lot of the roster is upset with Triple H, and you do know that they're having problems selling tickets for WrestleMania, which is not a good thing. You know, now and that was a problem in itself for Elimination Chamber. I don't know if you knew that or not. They had problems selling tickets for Elimination Chamber, and the promotion wasn't good. And then where it was booked, a lot of the people that was on the roster did not like being over there across that wall.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of them talked about like how they had some experiences over there and they didn't like it. So, yeah, actually, Pat McAfee said something about that, and I was wondering what that was, but I was like, that ain't nothing. That's just him talking.
No, that's some real shit. That they had to lower the price on the tickets. You know, and then a lot of people are upset with Triple H about the booking and where it is.
You look at it, Vegas, man. You paying high dollar for them tickets, and then you gotta pay for where you stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vegas ain't no cheap place to be.
You know, me and the guys, we were having this conversation at one point about, you know, you've seen Stephanie back, you know, you know what I'm saying? She made 2 television appearances here over the last month. I think it's come down to a point that Triple H is going to have to be taken out of creative control.
Yeah, they're gonna probably put somebody in that.
I'm gonna tell you, and I said this a while back. I think shit needs to be flipped. I think H needs to go back to NXT, and HBK needs to come up and run the main roster. Because right now HBK got NXT off the chain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got about 10. You got 10 people off the NXT roster that are now on the main roster. You know what I'm saying? You know, men and women. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, and the storylines in NXT have been one hit after another. One hit after another.
And then, let alone the NXT guys win at WrestleMania. Yeah, y'all need to trade positions then.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, something needs to happen because it's been the last 12 months have been awful. The live in, you know what I'm saying, pay-per-view events have been awful. It was awful. Okay. All right, back to Elimination Chamber. The SmackDown before Elimination Chamber, the Irresistible Forces win the Women's Tag Team Championship, and they are not even in the live event at Elimination Chamber. How do you do that?
You're dropping the ball.
How do you have one of the most formidable tag teams put together and they win the tag team championship and then they're not in the live event at Elimination Chamber? How do you do that? That's just crazy to me. You know,
hey, Triple H, you better.
Yeah,
he's totally right.
Yes. You know, I mean, you got a couple of situations now that I mean that you could be that you can't you can't mess up the Liv and Stephanie McCourt, you know what I'm saying, brawl right now. You can't mess that up. That needs to go a long ways. And I think Stephanie McCourt, yeah,
with their performances.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? And you need to run that, you know, and what you say, Vince? I'm surprised EO and Stephanie not on the card for WrestleMania. Yeah. And Stephanie has to wait a minute. Vicur, she's the champ. Her and Liv are gonna be battling for that belt that Stephanie got. Now EO, I don't understand why she's not in the match at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got Rhea is gonna be battling Jade, and Liv is gonna be battling Stephanie for those 2 championship belts. Yeah, you got a big standoff, you know what I'm saying, in the fan base about Jade and Rhea in that match. You know, these Rhea fans are some kind of special.
Now that you just bring that up, do you think Ripley's partner, what's her name again?
EO Sky.
Do you think with her little exchange with the other 2 little Asian chicks are going to have an effect?
The Kabuki Warriors?
Yeah, do you think they're gonna have an effect on her?
There's something there because those three were a faction, and I think at some point you have to put them back together.
Because I was thinking,
yeah,
right after their little scuffle that the little backstage talk they had, I felt like if Rhea wins the title from Jade, it's going to be somehow she's going to backdoor Rip for that.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah.
Just the way she was looking after they got done talking, it was just like, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Yeah, because Io's stardom has catapulted as well. You know, with her by herself and in as a team with Rhea, and that storyline, yeah, I could see that. You know what I mean? You know, and putting the Kabuki Warriors all back together, all three of them. I think that has to happen. I think that has to happen.
Okay.
And somebody else that Triple H is dropping the ball on, Dominic Mysterio. Yeah. Dominic is a top 5 star. His following, especially with the Latino and Spanish community, you know, yeah, he has to get a serious push instead of being in a lot of these lame little knickknacks and brouhahas. You got to, you know what I'm saying, put him into something major.
Yeah, you should have let him try to get back his Intercontinental title.
Right.
Matter of fact, you should have. Even though you wanted to put Ray back in there, which I ain't never mad about putting Rey Mysterio in a ladder match. You should have put both of them in there then.
Yeah,
that would be a fire match. Even though I still think that ladder match is going to be good, and I want Javon Evans to win that. But I think you add Dominique to that makes that match a lot better because there's a couple other guys in there that's like, you can kind of replace them.
Yeah, I because Trick, you know what I'm saying, you know, battling with Sami Zayn, I was like, hey,
actually, I think that
what you
let
think?
Trick get the belt. Go ahead and let Trick get the belt. And if I feel like if Javon doesn't win the Intercontinental, I will switch his focus on trying to take the US from.
Well, now Trick winning, I could see him and Melo picking up where they left off, you know what I'm saying, from NXT in their
I was gonna bring that into it too. Like have Javon come in, somehow mess the title up for one of them, or Melo or Trick, one of them, and he somehow interjects himself into that and let that be a 3-man thing in itself. I think those three will be good at going battling for that US title. I think that'll be a good thing for them. And letting that pass around between them. It's kind of hard because it's like you saying, like Triple H is dropping the ball on a lot of people, and he's dropping the ball on them all at the same time. So it's hard to say who he need to catch first.
I mean, you know, it's you're not. It's a combination of stuff where he's messed up, and then you know the positioning, the characters and whatnot. It's so much. I'm gonna say this, and I can't even believe I'm even gonna say it. I'm beginning to miss Vince.
Yeah. That's
You
funny.
know,
That is
you
funny.
know, as much of an asshole as he was, at least his creativity was top notch.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
knew how to keep the entertainment entertaining.
the yeah, with Vince, the only mistake that he made was the Shield. He dropped the ball on that faction. But other than that, I mean, you know, he knew what to do with, you know what I'm saying, feuds, factions, and, you know, story, you know what I'm saying, story writing, you know, leading up to big major events, and all of his pay-per-views were top, top of the, you know what I'm saying. There nothing. There was no problem with selling tickets. There was no problem with it with the bookings. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the mindset and the thinking of Triple H. Man, every time I think about it, it's cringeworthy as to, you know, how bad Elimination Chamber was. Bro, that Elimination Chamber was god awful.
I think what Triple H is doing is he's seeing and trying to manipulate the WWE the way he would want it to be manipulated if he was still wrestling.
Mm.
And I think that's getting in the way. Instead of being the visionary, he's still kind of somewhat seeing himself, you know, being these guys.
Right.
Because he might have, because he didn't never take, because he retired and went straight into the front office. So he never really took that time away to really, you know, let that go. And I think that's what he's doing. I think that's where he's messing up at. And he catches himself doing it, and then he tries to change stuff. And that's where it's like, bro, you trying to write storyline somewhat to how you would want to be in a storyline and how you want things to be around you. It ain't you no more, Triple H. You retired now, buddy.
It is not. It's not. Oh man. Now we're gonna talk a little history.
Yes, sir.
You know, one of the guys that I grew up watching, the late great Harley Race.
Born April 11th, 1943, August 1st, 2019.
He was a world heavyweight champion for quite some time in the, you know, 70s and 80s. Many legendary feuds with the likes of Dick Murdoch, Nick Bockwinkel, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk, Jerry Lawler at one point, Ted DiBiase, Ricky Steamboat. He faced a lot of the legendary best. You know, but all four of his matches with Ric Flair were legendary. You know, his feud with Dusty Rhodes was legendary. That suicidal headbutt was a weapon upon weapons that he used. You know, this one of the things that I'm going to be doing with this show each week, you know, in speaking on, you know what I'm saying, guys that, you know, that were, you know, back in the day that a lot of the younger people such as yourself may not have, you know, known or was able to see. You know,
Yeah.
and he was responsible for the career of Vader.
Big Boy Vader?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I
Yeah.
know who Vader is.
Yeah, when Vader came in,
Saying him on
Harley
that.
Race, they paired him with Harley Race was his manager for about 2 years.
Oh, okay. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
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 he debuted in 1959 and he
yes,
retired December of 1990.
yeah, yep. That guy, one of the great ones. He was one of the great ones. He was low and methodical on the microphone. Um, oftentimes you could remember him for the saying of uh, as God is my witness on God's green earth, I will not pledge the grass to subside and let loose this belt. He used to say that all the time. You know, like I said, he went against some of the great ones. Early, um, Mascaris, Abdul the Butcher, Ox Baker, Nick Botwinkle, um, uh, 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 see, damn, what's dude, just in my mind.
Dory Funk.
Yes, Dory Funk Jr. You know what I'm saying? Terry Funk. Uh, Jerry Briscoe. He said Nick Botwinkle, Dick Murdoch, Dick Slater. Um, he faced them all in his time in his career. In his what I'm almost 40 years in the business. You know,
Mhm.
one of the better ones, one of the greater ones that forged this industry. You know what I'm saying? You will probably could find some old tape of Harley Race in some of his legendary wars and some of his legendary, you know what I'm saying, title runs. Uh, you know,
Is
um,
Cowboy Bill Watts a part of the Watts family?
yeah, that
Yeah, see him. They had great tag team matches against them.
yeah, Cowboy Bill Watts and Randy Orton's dad was a tag team.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's who they talking about right here too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But it just one. It's just an installment of what I'm saying, revisiting what I'm saying, history. Just helping you understand where this industry came from. So I'm going to be
Mhm.
doing that a little bit. And speaking of history, another part of history. The old man, yeah, we old man now. If I'm not mistaken, I think did pass away. I can't remember. I
Did
can't
who?
remember. But Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer.
I'm looking at his what's the name right now.
And
Uh,
who was
yeah, he
in
passed
my
away
book?
on February 7th of 1992 at the age
Oh,
of
okay,
32 from heart
all right,
failure.
yeah. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer was the originator of the Powerslam.
Known as the cheap shot artist.
And was and was he was
And,
um
and one of the most underrated best heels.
mm-hmm.
He feuded with wrestlers like Dustin Rhodes, Magnum TA, Kevin
Yep.
Von Erck,
Kevin Von
and
Erich
Rich. Yeah.
in AWA. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Um let me see.
He ranked 185 of 500 best single wrestlers during the PWI era. years in 2003.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. I was telling the freshman, Buzz Sawyer could hit you with a power slam out of nowhere, like Randy Orton could hit you with an RKO out of anywhere. Okay, literally, literally. One of the best power moves, if you will, at that particular time. You know what I'm saying, in the mid to in the early to mid 80s.
He debuted in 1977.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Look, just to show you how far back this particular guy goes. Gordon Soley, the late great Gordon Soley, was the host of NWA wrestling at the time. You know what I'm saying? The original Gene Oakland, for some of you all that don't know that name. You know, so, you know what I'm saying? He had a pretty good career. But I want just kind of sort of bring him up because I know a lot of people see Randy Orton do that move before he sets you up for the RKO. You know, he gets that power slam. You know what I'm saying? He was a tag team champ with his younger brother. At one point,
the NWA National Tag Team Champion.
Yep.
Brett Sawyer.
Yep.
The NWA Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champion with his little brother.
Yep.
And then he had one more tag team, NWA Mid Atlantic Tag Team Championship, and that was with Matt Bourne.
Yeah. Yeah. Another forgotten name. Yeah.
Oh, he had two tag team championships with him.
Mm-hmm.
He had the WCWA World Tag Team Championship with Matt Bourne too.
Yep.
Yeah, he held quite a bit of belts. The AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship, NWA National Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. The UFW TV Television Championship.
Yep.
The NWA Southeastern Television Championship. The WCWA Television Championship.
Yep.
The WCWA Texas Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
And he was inducted into the Hall of Fame of class of 2021.
And yes, I forgot. Yes, he is in the Hall of Fame.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter in 1981, the most underrated wrestler, and then 1982, he was the best heel.
Yes,
is what they wrote.
And he was great as a bad guy. His bad guy run for 3 years stint that made even some of the bad guy greats like Terry Funk proud. Okay.
Man.
Yep.
Say he's the original bad boy.
Yeah, he was one of them. Now, on next week, our history lesson will contain the Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
Ole and Gene Anderson. Yeah, Ole and Gene Anderson. And let's see, our second one will probably, let me see, we're gonna kind of come up a little bit. do the world. We gonna do the Road Warriors.
Okay.
We gonna do the Road Warriors. You know what I'm saying? And of course there will be a Raw recap. So this is gonna come to a little end of our first installment of the Almighty OG Raw Report.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you all enjoyed it. That's what Tuesday it is. We're slotted, and embedded right now on Tuesdays. Yes. So tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Share it out. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know if OG Truth gonna be on?
He would. I was. You know what I'm saying? I believe he kind of fell into nap time.
Yeah,
because I did send him the link. I think Coach maybe had got stuck at work because you know what I'm saying, he said he wanted to be on as well.
Yeah.
And then when I thought about it after I sent Sawyer the link, she's Braves activity. But But I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it all. We're gonna have all the wrestling protagonists involved. You know what I'm saying? In this installment. But like I said, I hope everybody loves the first impression of this. This is going to be a standing segment rolling on. And we're gonna kind of set the menu for next week, but it may change a little bit. Me and the freshmen gonna sit down and talk a few things, try to get it all in there right, it get some extra spice in it, you know what I'm saying, the conversations and of the stars being talked about, and whatnot. What you think, Fresh? How you feel about the situation?
I like it. I take a history lesson. You feel me? Yeah. Some guys in here I don't know. I'm gonna talk what I know and learn also along with y'all.
Okay. Well, once again, I appreciate everybody for joining in the live chat. And whether you're watching from the Wrestling Mic or Miss White Network, this is standard issue from on Tuesdays at 5:00 from here, this point on out. Again, we're showing our content agility. We're not just football, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just Falcons. We are all sports, including sports entertainment. How you like it? You're going to learn to love it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, freshman, let the people know what you got going on and what you're putting out, going on this week and what you're exercising.
I definitely having some more my anime takes, let's put it like that. I have some more of those dropping on social media and on the tube. Definitely some more. I just looked and seen some more other animes I'm gonna react to, so I'm gonna be bringing that content up a little bit more. And of course, the game is that's easy. That's easy as breathing to drop that. So I just got some little stuff I need to edit and drop that. But other than that, man.
And you just reminded me, you know what I'm saying? Pop culture anime vision. Yeah. We discussed, but we haven't really put any, you know what I'm saying, notes down in the creative room yet. But we're gonna try to bring that to the forefront as well. Anime vision, and you know what I'm saying, for all you anime fans. Yeah, we give us a few weeks. We're gonna find a place in a week for that. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is showing our content agility. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, if they had them old wrestling games.
Ah,
Money. Yeah, money. Money.
Start the show. Hey man, look, hey, you know, the good thing about YouTube, man, you can pull it up and play it for you, you know what I'm saying, for yourself, you know. Let me see. He said before y'all go, Liv does that crazy white girl very well. Yes, she does.
It's natural.
Yes.
It's natural.
It's natural. That bitch crazy for real.
Ah!
That bitch crazy for real. You
That's
know what I'm
not
saying?
no acting.
Hey,
She let real emotions out.
hey. But for real though, money. Hey man, this Tuesday slot, and you know all my shows start at 5. But you know, wrestling. You know what I'm saying? The almighty OG Raw report is right here. You know what I'm saying? So just keep in mind, you know, and then you still got Truth, you know what I'm saying, with the exclusive World of Wrestling, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, both on the Wrestling Mic, and then this show here comes from the Wrestling Mic and Mr. White Network and Almighty Fresh Network as well. You know, that's how we're gonna be broadcasting. So, you know what I'm saying? You get your wrestling feel, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I hope you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So when you go back and watch the show, I hope you enjoy, you know what I'm saying, what we put down as the inaugural debut. You know what I mean? I had to clutch my pearls for a second. I was like, oh my goodness. Yes. She's all the way unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So
especially after she got that knot put on her head. Yeah. Gonna be
coming up,
and repercussions.
Coming up on tomorrow on Wicked Wizard Sports Tea, a good fresh pot of good tea. We will be discussing the NCAA football GOAT, greatest player of all time. That y'all might want to pull up for that conversation there. And we're also going to be rehashing and stirring back into the fans loving to hate the Kevin Stefanski hire and not being able to give factual football reasoning why they hate the man. You know what I'm saying? Outside of being a Shadur Sanders fan. Y'all pull up for that tomorrow with Sports Tea. Also, as always, Sports Tea Dummy of the Week. Yeah. All right. Yes. So y'all tune in for that on tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the conglomerate, aka the Unholy Alliance, has more viewership for you. I'm sure the guys will probably be tuning up for you all at 8:00 with something STS like, you know what I'm saying? 6-man and the Mad One, the Senator, you know what I'm saying? Like they always do. But as for us, we're gonna get on up out of here, you know what I'm saying? Keeping it dirty, and most notably keeping it real with ourselves. Let your next choice be your best choice. Hey, and don't forget, shout out to the Red Free crew. We out.